How's it going, people, and welcome back to the Outdoor Builders Club. Today we're going to be checking out some more of the latest and greatest mods available for Starfield, including brand new gameplay features for battling with other ships, a whole list of new spacesuits and clothing, as well as some awesome quality of life mods that will enhance your Starfield experience. As usual, all of the mods featured today will be available from Nexus mods, and the majority will also be available on Creation, so this list should have something for just about everybody. If you're new to the channel or to modding Bethesda games, make sure you subscribe for more Starfield content, and if you enjoy the video, then please remember to leave a like. Thank you guys so much for all your support so far, but for now let's jump back to the video and check out some more of the latest Starfield mods. If you ever find yourself needing a break from all the space battles and constant tribulations you face in the settled systems, then without a doubt the best place for you to go is the luxurious holiday resort of Paradiso. This place is much more than just a standard hotel, with its many shops you can visit, different beach activities you can get involved in, and interesting side quests for you to complete. But with the mod Paradiso Evolved by Checker90, you can make this extravagant resort even better. This mod will add more NPCs, enhance the scenery and atmosphere, and also add a new area behind the hotel workers accommodation. The new location will feature 2 brand new hotel buildings, a peaceful plaza with a water feature, and a beachfront bar that even has its own dance floor for you to bust some epic moves on. Unfortunately, you can't actually go inside the new buildings, and they are there to just expand the size of the resort and make it feel much larger than the original. When walking around the Evolved Paradiso, you will notice more NPCs around the place and new ambient sounds of the guests chatting and people enjoying their holiday, which helps to immerse you even further into the world. I do think there should be some shops or something in the new area, however, just to give players a reason to go check it out, as at the moment it just works as more set dressing and doesn't really serve a purpose other than just looking cool. That being said, I really like this mod as it expands on an already interesting part of the settled systems. I'd love to see more resort activities included, and maybe even a new way to access the location from a spaceport. And if you were wanting to evolve your Paradiso into a much bigger holiday resort, you should definitely check this mod out. But if you are looking for a mod that will expand on something much larger than just Paradiso, say like one of Starfield's major cities, then you should probably grab the mod New Coruscant by Deity Venji. This mod is insane and will completely transform your New Atlantis into the dark world of Coruscant's underbelly. The amount of changes this mod makes is absolutely staggering. Every single inch of New Atlantis has been altered to the point where it's almost completely unrecognizable. From the moment you land at the spaceport, you'll see a great metropolis encased in the city, which really helps to sell the idea of being deep down in the bowels of the planet. The only patch of sky you would be able to see is through the ship's access tunnel way up in the ceiling. You'll also see organised sky traffic flying through their hyperlanes, a load of bright lights and signage illuminating the streets, and so many minor additions that all come together to completely change the look and feel of New Atlantis into the dark streets of Coruscant. All the shops and locations are still exactly where they should be, so the city feels brand new but it's still very familiar. That being said, there is a completely new location added called the Scrapyard, which appears to be an old ship hangar with a few derelict spacecraft ready for scrapping. There are also a whole load of new unmarked locations as well, like a secret black market stand, some sort of alien science room, and even a new club and bar for you to let off some steam. This mod does an amazing job at creating an overwhelming sense of scale. All the new buildings and lights out in the distance genuinely feel like an actual continuation of the city, and all the former water features around New Atlantis have been replaced by vertigo-inducing voids, giving you the impression that the city keeps stretching out indefinitely. I think this mod is amazing, with or without all the added Star Wars mods you can use alongside it, but of course New Coruscant will be a part of the Star Wars Genesis mod pack, which was created by the same author, but it is also usable in a non-Star Wars playthrough as well, as this mod doesn't even have any hard requirements. Unfortunately, due to the size of this mod, New Coruscant will only be available on PC, however Paradiso Evolved is on Creations, so that will be available to both PC and Xbox players. During a space battle in Starfield, it is possible to disable your enemy ship and then even board them to get a bit more up close and personal, but after docking with their ship, they will just sit there and wait patiently for you to make the first move. However, that's where the mod Better Boarding Experiences by Steve King comes in. Now when docking onto an enemy ship, there is a chance that some of the rival crew will attempt to board you and bring the fight to your vessel. Once you have decided to dock onto an enemy, there's a chance that you may get a notification warning you of a potential hazard. This can be any of the environmental dangers dangers like a gas leak or an electrical hazard, so you should probably equip your spacesuit before entering the enemy ship, otherwise you're likely to face the consequences. But on top of any potential hazards, you can also get a notification stating that you have an intruder on board. This will sound an alarm warning you that you and your crew members have been boarded and that your ship is now under an immediate threat. Once you have cleared your ship of any hostiles, you can now board the enemy spacecraft, but the job's not completely done yet, as you will also have to eliminate the remaining crew that stayed behind. Then it's up to you what to do with the empty ship. You can choose to pilot it, which will force it to become your new home ship, or you can simply decide to destroy it and leave the wreckage floating in space. All the dead bodies left behind that are on your ship will conveniently disappear once you have traveled to a new location, so you won't have to worry about old corpses piling up in your cabin. Just remember to do all your looting before moving on. I think this mod adds a lot of immersion to Starfield's boarding mechanics, as it makes them much more dynamic, and it's no longer a complete cakewalk to go on board and steal an enemy ship. However, if you were looking for a way to allow your enemies to dock onto you during combat, you should also use the mod Enemies Boarding My Ship by Eagle 4. This mod gives your enemies the power to give you a taste of your own medicine, and your enemy ships will now actively seek to dock you during combat. However, there are certain requirements that need to be met before they will try to latch onto you. For example, either your grav drive or your shields need to be down or significantly damaged, and the enemy ships need to be a maximum of 400 meters away. Once these requirements have been met, then you can expect your enemies to begin docking and making their way onto your ship. Other factors like your enemy's factions will also increase or decrease the chances of you being boarded. Crimson Fleet pirates are most likely to board your ship, and spacers are the least likely to attempt it, but you can turn this off in the gameplay settings and make all factions just as likely to board you as any other. After an enemy vessel has docked onto you, the Better Boarding Encounters mod will kick in, and this will allow your adversaries to make their way onto your ship and bring the fight to you. These mods work really well together and help to make Starfield's space battles feel that extra bit more exciting. But now we're going to move down to the surface, and we're going to switch our focus from ships to Starfield's vehicles. This is Roverhaul Simple Fuel and Vehicle Management by Revolt. This mod will overhaul some of the vehicle mechanics by adding battery life to your rover that you will need to keep charged for it to function, and the rate at which the charge will go down depends on the speed you're traveling at and the gravity of the planet you're on. You will receive pop-ups in the top right corner every time your charge drops by 25%, and when it finally reaches 0, you will be forced out of the vehicle and no longer able to drive it. To recharge it, you will need to use the new consumable item called a rover battery, which will replace the dead one and recharge your vehicle up to full. These batteries can be bought from various different vendors, are even crafted at an industrial workbench. This mod will work for all your modded vehicles as well. However, not all rovers are actually electric and might need something else to fuel them up. But that's where the new rover fuel cells come into play, and just as an example, the day mod creation from Bethesda will use fuel instead of batteries. So depending on what vehicle you use will decide the type of consumable you need to keep it running. Roverhaul will also implement a brand new stowing mechanic to the game, so when taking off from a location, your rover will be packed away into your ship's cargo hold. This will use up some of the storage on your ship. However, if you don't have enough space, your vehicle may be left behind and only become accessible again once you land at another port. There is also an option to always leave your vehicle behind in the gameplay settings. This will make your vehicle only usable from spaceports or outposts. However, it won't take up any space on your ship. I personally wouldn't use this mode, as I do enjoy exploring random planets in my rover, but the option is always there for those of you who don't want to free up space in your ship's cargo hold. And thankfully, Better Boarding Encounters and Roverhaul can be found on Creations, so those two are both available on PC and Xbox. However, Enemies Boarding My Ship is currently only available on PC. If like me, you think Starfield needs some more custom spacesuits and clothing, and you're looking for some that will remain lore friendly, then you should definitely grab the mod KZ Techno-Corporate Repository by CryoZet. This mod will introduce a handful of spacesuits, helmets and outfits to the game that are Ryujin themed and very nicely designed. Before being able to purchase any of these new items, you will first have to join the Ryujin company by completing their first mission. 48 hours after joining the company, Ito Suzuki will then be able to sell you these new outfits and spacesuits from the store at the base of the Ryujin Tower. This mod will implement the operative spacesuit and the Harbinger extraction suit. Both of these tactical spacesuits will come with custom helmets and a boost pack. The operator's suit will even come with 3 different kinds of helmets for you to pick from, so there's loads of choice for you to find your own style. And speaking about style, the Harbinger extraction suit has 4 different skins that you can apply to the suit, helmet or boost pack, and one is even a UC Vanguard skin, so it's not actually just a suit for Ryujin operatives. Both of these spacesuits also come with a clothing option as well, along with a few different tactical head accessories. Not only that, you'll also be able to choose from the other 7 new outfits, like the business and executive suits, the corpo casual and formal wear, or even the executive business skirt or dress. Some of these outfits will even come with custom skins that you can apply at a spacesuit workbench, which will allow you to switch up some of the colours of your new clothes. I think these new options are great, and I love that they are lore friendly as well. They fit into the game seamlessly and give you plenty of choices on how to style and even protect yourself. Speaking of which, the best way to protect yourself really is to improve your own arsenal, which is where the mod FN Scar Mark 17 by Melik173 comes in. This mod will implement a Scar Mark 17 into the game. This US military assault rifle features in loads of different shooters, and now Starfield is also no exception. In fact, the models and textures for this rifle are ported over from the Modern Warfare game that came out in 2019 and features some really incredible attention to detail. You can even customize the appearance of the weapon by choosing between the default skin option or the black version. Either way, it's still a beautifully designed firearm. To add this rifle to your collection, you can purchase it from Clint DeHaven on Gagarin. This deadly assault rifle will even come with custom firing sounds and also custom reload sounds. The Scar uses the same animations that I use for the Maelstrom, and I think they fit pretty well. There doesn't seem to be any clipping issues or anything like that. Its stats are comparable to that of the old Earth assault rifle, but can be upgraded at a weapons workbench to get the most out of it. I really enjoy using this rifle. I find all the sounds really satisfying, and I also love the fact that you can see the cocking handle shooting back every time you fire it. Unfortunately for all you console players out there, the Scar is only available on PC. However, KZ's Techno-Corporate Repository is on Creations, so you can get all the new outfits and spacesuits on PC or Xbox. In Starfield, there are loads of different ways for you to regain your health back. Medpacks are by far the most commonly used, as they are already placed in your favourites menu. That's why we have the mod Smart Heal by Steve King. This handy mod is designed to replace the medpack slot in your favourites menu with the brand new Smart Heal item. Once your health has dropped below 80%, Smart Heal will choose a healing item from your inventory, depending on the current situation you're in and what consumable items you possess in your pack. If you are not currently in combat, Smart Heal will prioritise using medpacks to regenerate your health, but during combat, Smart Heal will utilise trauma packs as they regen your health a little bit faster. However, if your health bar is below 30% during combat, Smart Heal will decide to instead use emergency kits, as these will replenish your health even faster. So no longer will you have to take time going through your inventory to find the most appropriate item to keep you going. After using the Smart Heal feature, it will give you a notification letting you know what consumable was applied, shortly followed by how many of each item you have left. It should also help out with your immersion as well, because spending less time going through the menus means more time actually immersing yourself in the world. And on the point of increasing your immersion, you should also grab the mod CGFNCCFFCITYA by Ghost Rider 231. Whew, that's a mouthful. But this quality of life mod is actually 3 mods all rolled into one, and the CGF part of the name stands for Crowd Gun Fear. In vanilla Starfield, you're free to discharge your weapon indiscriminately, and no one really even bats an eyelid as long as you don't hit anybody, which in my opinion seems to be a bit of an oversight. But with this mod, firing your gun will now cause citizens to flee in terror as they run and fear for their lives. Police and security still don't appear to mind, but most civilians will get out of dodge as soon as you start shooting. This is much more realistic than the vanilla game, but I do think you should be told off by the authorities for creating a panic. The NCCFF part of the mod title stands for No Companion or Crew Friendly Fire, which I have to say isn't really a major issue I've come across in Starfield. I suppose it may occur if you allow your followers to use explosive weapons, and you may sometimes end up in the crossfire. I can't say I've experienced this much, but if you have, then this mod will help you out by making you completely immune to any damage from your crew or companions. And finally, the CITYA part of the title stands for Companions Immune to Your Attacks. Again, unless you're purposely trying to attack your own guys, this feature is most useful when you are using explosive weapons or maybe some of the different Starborn powers. And amazingly, both of these game enhancing mods are available from Nexus and Creations, which means Smart Heal and CGFNCCFFCITYA can both be used on PC and Xbox. That mod really needs a nickname. If you're a fan of the cyberpunk style city of Neon and you wanted to find a place of your own to settle down in the Aurora capital, then your only real choice is the Sky Suite penthouse found in the trade tower. It's definitely not the largest player home you can purchase in the game, and I always felt its bright and clean interior never really suited the dingy streets that lay below. But that's why we have the mod Neon Cyber Runner Suite by Mass Razor. This mod will completely transform the Sky Suite into the perfect player home for anyone role-playing as a neon street rat or maybe even a hacker. To acquire the keys for this awesome apartment, you need to visit Boone Morgan in the Astral Lounge and purchase it for 235,000 credits. Your new penthouse will come fully furnished with a whole range of awesome new furniture and selected items that will match the vibe of the Neon core. With brand new moody lighting and even an expansion to the original suite, this apartment now features the perfect layout for any cyber criminal and even has a convenient self-service bounty clearance board. Your kitchen on the upper level will feature a working stove for you to complete any cooking. There is also this funky looking laptop where you'll be able to carry out all your research. But that's not the only crafting station that's been integrated into these cool looking computers. Downstairs you'll also find a weapons workbench laptop so you can upgrade that pew pew. Outside, your balcony has also been furnished and decorated. It's not the most pleasant decor or even view for that matter, but I guess you don't need much to look at when you're off your face on Aurora. If you have a nose around your new digs, you'll find a lot of interesting and expensive stuff lying around, and not always of the legal sort. There are a couple of secret stashes with a whole load of goodies inside just waiting there for you to collect them. The place is a tad messy to be honest, but I guess that's just part of the whole criminal lifestyle. So if you're role playing as a cyber runner in Starfield and you're looking for the perfect hideout, this is probably the mod for you. And thankfully, Neon Cyber Runner Suite can be found on the Nexus page and on Creations, so it can be played on both PC and Xbox. And that is our list of some of the latest and greatest Starfield mods out there. I hope you guys found something you'd like to check out for yourself, and remember to endorse any of the mods that you enjoy. That being said, if you enjoyed the video, then please remember to leave a like. If you want to see more Starfield content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But that'll be it from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
You won't regret it. Come on, dance! Go crazy!
Get some Aurora and let loose! Yeah?